about what we did offensively. Defensively, as much as anything today, we needed to come back and show that we can play better defense than that. We're getting closer. It's a shame you give up 2 touchdowns like that in the end. Stats don't really say exactly how the guys played today, but again, there was energy from the start. All 3 phases. Chase, Blake, they do the things that they normally do. So anyway, big win for us. It's always tough when you see one of our players go down, like Kenyon Jackson did, but hopefully I don't know exactly how serious the injury it is, but that's not ever good. But we got a 4th win, and so it has to give us some confidence as we go into next week. Take your question.
Lovie, that overturn felt like it could have changed the game. What did you think of how your team responded?
Well, that was one of the sidebars a little bit of the game. Normally that can crush momentum. To be that high and have to come down, but we're maturing. And as we go through things, that said an awful lot. So we had that at the end. And of course, we knew they had the football to start the second half. The defense had to step up then also. So hold them to a field goal, and of course, you get 3 and out to start the second half, and then get to take away with the field.
What did a win like this mean for you in the program?
Well, we keep talking about that we're heading in the right direction, have faith, we're going to get it done. We are. We're a young ball club. That's another young ball club that we played today. Minnesota have been playing outstanding football. PJ is doing a super job with them. But it has to say an awful lot about, what we can do. We're always recruiting hard. We're getting some good things on that front a little bit too. It's a process.
The way you were able to start the second half, was there halftime discussions about maybe not letting the disappointment of not getting that touchdown kind of change things?
It absolutely kind of goes without saying. We all knew, what that could have done. But you try to address as many of the issues as possible. In the end, they were going to get the ball to start off. Our defense had to step up. There's no carryover. You have to start the second half. It doesn't matter whether you're ahead or you're behind. It's a new game when you start the second half, and I feel like we won that second half.
What did it mean? What did it mean just getting Tony Adams back on this defense?
Well, Tony Adams, Dele Harding, all those players helped, getting them back. Tony is a big part. We moved him late, but he gives us something different than we've had at the free safety position. I think just to a man, I think I could talk about how all the defensive guys kind of stood up a little bit. But it was good to get him back on the field. Also, Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs didn't finish the game, didn't play most of last week. So it was good to get both of those guys back out.
How did the defensive coordinator do today?
I know the defense really stood up. And the defensive staff did an outstanding job of plugging in. Just like we talk about an injury, a player, your role will change. Daily, weekly, and you have to just kind of go with it. All of our staff do a good job with that.
How did your week change during practice? How did your role change? What did you have to do?
I think most of us head coaches would like for you to think that it's 24/7. We have some head coaching things going on, but there's time to be involved with the defense. Me in this role, you look in NFL, you look in college ball. There are a million offensive head coaches that do what I'm doing, so I don't think it's really that big of a deal. We all became head coach based on something we've done on one side of the ball, so it makes sense to be more involved this way.
Coach, did you do anything behind most of the result changes, though?
Oh, I don't know what goes in that. I know we went to work. We had an outstanding week of practice. Feel like we had a good game plan coming in, and the guys executed the game plan. They were in the football, and we'll only get better from here.
Did you do anything differently, Coach, with the defensive calls, the blitz packages, the coverages, any of those?
You guys kind of saw the game a little bit. We had a little different approach to how we were calling a little bit, but all our defenses have been sound every game we played this year. The execution was a lot better. Don't know the reason. We just know that there's a lot of things to correct. It's not like we played a perfect game by any means, but gave us a chance. That way we'll have a chance and we can play a whole lot better ball, especially defense, than we did.
Ricky Smalling was a lot more active on offense today. Just talk a little bit about his game.
Well, we've been, as we talk about some of the things that we needed to do better, we need to get more from our passing game. A lot of times it's just on the quarterback and different things, but we've dropped some balls. But all positions were ready to go. The team was ready to play football today. Ricky Smalling was a big part of that, but you can go to a man. How about Daniel Barker? I think that was his first touchdown. So everybody was. Of course, Ricky was a big part of that.
You mentioned Joey Brown. Talk about him, what he's been through, and coming back.
When you fight back from serious injuries the way Dre Brown has, everybody, of course, feeling for him. I know he was happy about that run, but his teammates were more happy than he was, if you can imagine that, just based on how hard he's worked to get in that position, and then just to persevere as much as anything. Great example for a young player.
Would you say that was the most complete game you guys have played on both sides of the ball?
I think so. I think it's easy to go. I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying that. I think all three phases stepped up, and we look like a football team today. Cannot wait to clean up some things and see where we can go from here. How much more improvements we can make. We still left a lot out there.
After successes on and off the field this week, do you feel like the program has a little bit of momentum going its way now?
I think whenever you win a game, it gives you momentum. Absolutely. And especially where we are, losing 3. So yes, and first off, it's hard winning football games. Especially, it's really hard winning Big Ten football games. So it has to let the players see that it's working. All right, that belief that they have. If we just keep going, we can get some things done.
430 yards on the ground today.
How many?
430 yards on the ground. How would you assess the performance of that offensive line after that stat?
As we talk about all the different guys, Reggie, AJ, Dre, it all starts up front. It's like that always on both sides of the ball. No one is probably putting the mic in front of them right now, but they know, and our team knows. But it started there. We thought we could do some things. Our offensive line, worked extremely hard this week. Doug Kramer is in a walking boot most of the week. Talking about a tough guy. And that's kind of the approach that, Coach Buckers has his group. That's how he has them thinking, that type.
Look at what your recruiting man, you have recruits here, what can you win those things? How can they help yourself?
Well, we keep talking about what we're gonna do and who we're gonna be, but it helps to see some results right now. But before we played the game, we had a big recruit that jumped on board. I think they're hearing the message, but it doesn't hurt for them to see a result like this, to just confirm a little bit what they're thinking as much as anything. But, again, there's a lot of good things happening around here. We're still building our program. And we know that we would all like to be here right away. It takes time. I don't know if you looked out there, but that facility is coming up. Bricks are coming up on the walls. There's a lot of excitement about going forward, but this is just one step. We realize that, but it's a big step.
Coach AJ gets benched. What does he say about him to come back?
Well, we asked AJ to take a different role, is what we asked him to do. And we do that from time to time. But what he did is he took a step back and he waited for his opportunity. Opportunities normally come for people who deserve it. And again, that seems like that game last week, when all of that was happening. I just know how that quarterback, how A.J. Bush played today, and that was outstanding football.
Maybe the second half against Maryland in today's game, is that more the A.J. maybe you saw in training camp?
I'm sorry, one more time?
The second half against Maryland in today's game, is that maybe more of the A.J. Bush you saw in training camp that earned that starting job?
Well, the guy that we saw today is the guy we saw in training camp, the guy that we thought we were going to get. All of that, absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks everybody. We'll have our players in the room down the hallway.